Time Walk with Me.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Time Walk with Me. Today we are looking at my Volo Guide to Monsters deck. This deck uses Volo Guide to Monsters to double the value that I get from my creatures. Very few of them have any of the same creature types as other creatures in the deck, and many of them have handy ETB and or death triggers. I see a lot of decks making non-legendary copies of Volo, but mine doesn't do that. It probably should, though. The commander is, of course, Volo Guide to Monsters. He is a 3/2 for 4 mana, and whenever you cast a creature spell that doesn't share a creature type with a creature that you control or a creature in your graveyard, copy that spell. So, doubles up all your creatures, or most of them in this deck. It's kind of hard to avoid doubling anything because Volo himself is a human wizard, and there are lots of really good humans and wizards out there. But I did my best here. Alright, first we got Apex Altasaur. This is definitely a late game creature, but it's a cool one. It comes out and fights everything, potentially clearing away any problem creatures your opponents have. And it does it twice. Bio-Waste Blob. This one can get out of hand very quickly, especially starting out with 2 instead of 1. Deep Forest Hermit. Ginny Windseeker. Dragon Turtle. Dryad Greenseeker. Filigree Familiar. Forgotten Ancient. Hollowhenge Overlord. This guy is really cool to have 2 of, letting you quadruple your number of 2/2 wolves every turn. Ironshell Beetle. Lorescale Coatl. Manowar. Marleaf Pixie. This creature can help you even before you cast Volo, but it's great ramp if you're able to double it. Ornithopter of Paradise. There's one other Thopter in this deck, but I thought the ramp would be good even if one or both of them isn't doubled with Volo. Parselmere. This isn't the only mirror in the deck, but it doesn't really need to be doubled in order to fit well here. Pilgrim's Eye. Here's the other Thopter. Polywog Symbiote. This deck makes use of mutate creatures because they fit very well with Volo, so this creature helps make them much cheaper to cast. Scrapdiver Serpent. There's a good chance all of your opponents will be playing artifacts, so 2 5/5s that can't be blocked are pretty good. Shorekeeper. The ability on this creature is very expensive, but it could come in handy late in the game when mana isn't a problem. Silver Raven. Solemn Simulacrum, aka Sad Robot. Thought Sponge. Wall of Blossoms. When Volo is out, your creature spells are doubled as long as they don't share a creature type with any of your other living or dead creatures. If you cast a spell for its mutate cost, you are still casting that creature spell, so Volo will make a copy if the condition is met. I guess the copy is also considered having been cast for its mutate cost, so here's what happens. The copied mutated creature spell goes under the non-human creature and gives you a whenever this creature mutates trigger. Then the original spell also goes under the creature, triggering its whenever this creature mutates ability, plus the ability from the copy. So that's 3 triggers per mutate spell that you copy with Volo. Archipelagore. Auspicious Starix. Dreamtail Heron. Glowstone Recluse. Migratory Greathorn. Pouncing Shoreshark. Souvenir Snatcher. Trumpeting Gnar. Volo Itinerant Scholar. Just like this deck's commander, this Volo likes when I play unique creatures. Zimone, Quandrix Prodigy. This is just good for drawing and getting more lands out. I usually focus more on what my decks are trying to do than stop what my opponents are trying to do, so the amount of interaction here might upset some people. If you feel the need to express your outrage, do it politely. Aether Gale. Aether Spouts. Beast Within. Bluster Squall, and You Find a Cursed Idol. Abundance. If you've watched many of my videos, you'll know how much I like this card. It allows you to decide with every draw whether you get a land or a non-land. It also bypasses draw triggers, so it's good against opponents playing things that hurt you for drawing. The only real downside is that it gives your opponents information about what's in your hand, but this enchantment's ability is optional, so you don't always have to use it. Adventurous Impulse, Cultivate, Dungeon Map. This is the only dungeon card in this deck, but I like the dungeon mechanic. Eureka Moment, Field Trip, Gilded Lotus, Kodama's Reach, Lotus Petal, Prophetic Prism, Soul Ring, Spell Satchel, Sylvan Scrying, and Urban Evolution. Blessed Respite, or Blessed Respite. Dual Nature. This serves as a sort of second Volo that works for every player. It's a lot cheaper than Doubling Season. Elixir of Immortality, Felden's Cane, Full Flowering. You'll have a copy of pretty much every creature you play, so you'll have a good selection of tokens to copy. Implement of Examination, Introduction to Prophecy, Memory Deluge, Second Harvest. Volo copies your creatures, and this copies your copies. Strionic Resonator. This gives you an additional Volo trigger every turn. It can also copy the triggered abilities of your other creatures. Blighted Cataract, Command Tower, Evolving Wilds, Forest, Glittering Frost, Island, Lityara Mirror Lake, or Lityara Mirror Lake, Lonely Sandbar, Myriad Landscape, Quandrix Campus, Rejuvenating Springs, Shimmerdrift Vale, Simic Growth Chamber, Terramorphic Expanse, Thornwood Falls. And that's it. That is my Volo Guide to Monsters deck. What do you think? Tell me what you think. I will put a deck list in the not the comments, no. Now I can put my deck lists in the description, so it will be there, a link to it. So you're welcome, and see you next time.